Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my best of 2021 makeup. In this video I'm just going to round up some of my favorite products of the year. They don't necessarily have to be from this year, but they're products that I was particularly enjoying this year. Some of them are new, some of them are old. The one thing is I did a best of 2020 video last year and I'm going to link that up above, and I hope you guys check that one out because I will say the majority of the items I used this year were the same ones I mentioned in that video, and I'm not going to re-mention them again because it just seems redundant. So there are a couple repeats in here, but I tried my best to talk about some new things that I was loving this year. But I really do encourage you guys to watch that video because like my true ride or die stuff I really did mention in the last video, and not all of those things will make an appearance in this one just because I wanted to highlight some fresh stuff. Also, I'm trying a new setting on my camera to hopefully like counterbalance the weird, like sometimes the camera would make everything like super orange for no reason in the middle of like filming type of thing. So I've like changed the setting and I'm hoping that will help. I'm not super sure, but I'm hoping it will not like on the other hand the counterbalance make everything like super blue, but I'm trying that and we'll see how it goes. Fingers crossed this looks good when I'm done the video. Anyway, let's just get started. I am going to just go in my order of my makeup routine. And also I don't know what my hair is doing today. I decided to try something new, but also my hair was already like, it's like day 4 hair, so it's already kind of like frizzy and messed up, so I probably shouldn't have tried something new on day 4, but anyway, I don't know if I like it or not, and I might keep touching these like loose bits. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, I've been talking a lot. Let's just jump right in. So let's just start off with a primer. I know I only got this primer like a few weeks ago, and there's a couple of video items in here that I got a few weeks ago when I got my Sephora haul, and like I've just been like using a lot in December and really liking. So I haven't had a whole lot of time with them, but I can already tell like compared to stuff I have been using all year, like I already like these things better. So that's kind of my analysis on that. So like this Changemaker primer, I know the first time I used it I wasn't totally sure how to feel about it, but I've been using it more and more and under like different foundations, not just the Bite foundation that comes with it. And I just really like it because it's like just this, it's very nice in the sense that it like is it's tacky enough to be a primer without being like annoyingly tacky, and then it also has like really good moisturizing like quality, so I always feel like my skin is like getting something really nice out of it too when I put it on, and it doesn't really have like a strong smell, so I really like this primer. I don't really have any other ones to bring up. Like I said, if you want other recommendations, check out last year's video. I stand by like every single item in that video. Like my opinions on those have not changed. They've maybe gotten better. It's just I didn't want to be repetitive. So for foundations, I have two. I have this Fit Me Maybelline Tinted Moisturizer that I've been using a lot since I also tried this out like last month, and I super love this. It is just like so, it's what I have on my face right now, and I just like how like not full coverage it is, how natural it looks, but it still like covers stuff, you know, like it still like smooths out your skin. It's still really easy to use. It's like super affordable. I really love this. The only thing is like because it's a drugstore range, like I feel like maybe the shade range could just be like a little bit bigger. Like it's not a good shade range. Like they have like I feel like a full spectrum of skin tones, just they like maybe lack some undertones just because like as opposed to like a, I don't know, a really high-end brand that can like afford to have like 50 shades, they maybe have like 20, and so they have to like, I think they spread them out pretty well throughout those like 20 or 30 shades that they have. But like for example, this is like my like the right color, it's just the undertone is a little bit too like off for me, I feel like, but I still use it because I can correct that with like bronzer and stuff, and I just like really love it. The other one is this Colourpop Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation that I got last year I think, but I've been using a lot this year. And the thing with this is I feel like I've mentioned before in other videos that I really struggle with Colourpop's like concealers and foundations. Like all the other ones I've tried I've like really hated. Like I find their complexion products, without the exception of like their powders, which I've always loved, but their other foundation and like other complexion products I've always really struggled with. And I like got this one even though I was like pretty ready to be disappointed because I was like these never look good on me. They always like look really cakey on my skin. The undertone is never right. Like I can't pick a shade. This is so good. Not only does it like, did I finally find the shade that matches me perfectly, or they finally put out like enough shades that like one of them matched me perfectly, like, but it also is just so nice on the skin. Like it's not too heavy. It's like glowy, but not in like a, like you don't look as sweaty. Like it's not super matte, but it's also not like incredibly dewy. It's just like a very nice everyday foundation. Like if you want something like a step up from this, but that's not like as full coverage as like my Too Faced Born This Way that I talked about in last year's video, this is like a really good option and I really love it. For concealer, like I said, the aforementioned concealers from last year were great, love them still. I didn't like try a whole lot of like concealer this year, so these are also like really old products, but I just like rediscovered them this year and I really love them. So the Maybelline, they're both Maybelline, the Maybelline Age Rewind and the Maybelline Fit Me concealer I think are both like so amazing, especially for the price. You can get them both at the drugstore. The shade range is good. This one especially I really love. This one is really great too. I just find the like applicator a little bit difficult to use, but like this one's really good on natural days and this one's like higher coverage, and I just like love them both so much. Like they're both like almost empty. Strongly vouch for both. Moving on to powders, I have this Bite pressed powder, which I think is my favorite pressed powder that I've tried this year. I just find it makes my pores disappear, and I've been like, again, I haven't had this for long, but I've been trying it and then trying like other pressed powders that I have, and I just keep coming back for this one. I just really like the shade. I really like how it applies. It just like looks really good all over my face. And then I also like that it can add like a little tiny bit of like coverage if I need coverage. So like for example, today I used the Fit Me. This is like a tinted moisturizer. It's not even a foundation really, right? So it was like really nice and the coverage was like good, but I wanted just like a little bit extra to like, hi Luna, my dog like hates when I film videos. She gets so jealous, but I wanted like a little bit extra like coverage, and this like gave me exactly what I needed to like top this off, and like I think they looked really good together. For loose powders, I have been using my translucent powder from Laura Mercier that I talked about last year a lot, but I also have been using this Colourpop translucent powder a lot, and I think this is almost like a pretty good alternative to that. Like I don't get people that are like picky about translucent powders. I feel like if it doesn't have any like flashback, which I feel like these days most of them don't, any translucent powder like does the same thing for me, and I really like this one. I also like the size. Like I feel like it's a lot smaller than those like big tubs, so it's really good for like travel, and it's just like I've had it for years. I've been using it for years. I just think it does the job. It's really great. It's finally mailed. I love it. Moving on to bronzers. I have been rediscovering, this is like a makeup classic. Like I feel like if you've ever purchased anything from Sephora, if you've been in the makeup community at all, you have one of these. And what I like about this is like I don't necessarily think you should pay for this, because I just feel like by existing in the makeup, like as a makeup lover, you will inevitably stumble upon one at some point. Like I have 2 of these little mini NARS Laguna bronzers and I have never purchased one, but I think they're actually really, really great. Like I get why this is everyone's holy grail for such a long time. I just don't think you should buy it for the price because you just like literally like Sephora gives these away like candy. Like don't buy this. And I don't even know if I would say it's worth it for the price, but as someone who has this one for free because I just went to Sephora, it's so good. Like I get why this is everybody's like favorite bronzer for like a hot minute there like 5 years ago. It's great. I love it. I love it so much. It's so good. My other one is I've been getting really into cream products this year, which is like kind of like I feel like not super helpful because like cream products come off easier under masks, I found. But I've been getting super into cream products this year, and this Colourpop, or it's not Colourpop, sorry, it's Soul Body, which is like their sister brand for like body products, but this face and body bronzing balm, this shit was like super big on TikTok, and I like fell to the urge to get it, and I did. And 1, it smells like the beach. I love it. And 2, it's just like, I don't know, it looks like more, like less orange in the pan. I will say it goes a little bit more orange on my face, but I kind of like that because it just really does make me look like I've been in the sun. It makes me look suntanned. It just does like a really good job of like not contouring. Like I will tell you, for like, I don't know if the other colors skew more contoury, but this shade does not work for contour, at least on me. It's definitely too orange for contour, but if you actually want like the true like point of bronzer, which is to bronze up your skin, it's so nice, and it just melts right into your skin because it's a cream, and it just looks so good. Like I love this shit so much. It's great to make you just make you feel like you're at the beach. For blush, I don't have any powder blushes because I feel like I talked about all my favorite powder blushes in last year's video. So again, I'm sorry I keep like hyping that up. It's just that I don't want you guys to think these are the only things I recommend, because like it broke my heart to not talk about a bunch of my favorite powder blushes in this video because I have mostly been using those. But like I said, this year I've been really like getting into cream stuff, and I'm trying a lot, but the 2 I really recommend are this Cheek Slime by Freck, which I also have gotten pretty recently, but I really like the texture and I want to get some of the other shades. And then what I have on my cheeks right now is this Cheeky Dew Serum Blush from Colourpop in the shade So Cosmo. I love these. They are so cheap, but they are beautiful. Like they just melt right into your skin. They give you this like most natural flush. It's just so nice to use. You just put it a little bit on your, like on the back of your hand, and then you just like dip your brush in and dip it on your face, and it just like looks so good. Like this is what convinced me to give more like cream and liquid products a go. I was like, cause I was so hesitant about them, and I was like, oh, they're gonna come on too pigmented. Like this one, I feel like it's really hard to fuck it up. It's hard to put on too much because I feel like because it's a serum, it almost like shears out really nicely, but not in a way that where you're like, oh, what did I pay for? Like it still definitely is there, but it's also like you'd have to like go really, really hard to feel like you've put on too much. It's just like it's so user friendly, which I love about this. And like I feel like this was a really good stepping stone to this, because I feel like with this, it's very easy to put on too much and then like go like full clown. But it's like hard to do that with this, and I feel like it's a really good like it's a really nice blush on its own, but it's also a really good training blush to work your way up to other like cream and liquid blushes. So that's what I like. For highlight, I don't really have any new ones. I feel like I definitely talked about the Becca highlights last year, but I wanted to talk about them again this year because I bought a whole bunch of new ones, because Becca sadly went out of business in September of 2020, I think is when they stopped selling, or was it September of 2021? I can't remember, but time has blurred together throughout the pandemic, but Becca stopped selling stuff. And I think now you can technically get a couple Becca products under the Smashbox line, but I don't know if they're keeping the formulas the same or just the names and the Becca branding. But a bunch of these like shimmering skin protectors, the highlights ended up in like Marshalls and Winners and stuff for like super cheap. And so I ended up getting like I had a mini of Opal, And I remember during one of the last Sephora sales of 2020, I was like debating getting a large opal in case my like mini opal ran out. And I didn't end up getting it because I was like, I can just get a different shade that I don't have. And then I was so stoked when I realized they had opal at the store. Because usually also the stuff that ends up in like Marshalls, a lot of the time it's just like not right for my skin tone. It's either too light or way too dark. But I feel like they don't have a lot of stuff for medium skin tones. And so I was so stoked when opal was there. And so I snagged this like full-size opal, and I just wanted to use the fact that I obtained a new Becca highlight as an excuse to talk about how much I love them. They are like the best highlights I've ever used, like solidly. I know other people think that like Becca was like great for today, and like the reason they went out of business is because they didn't innovate and their products were like stuck in a certain time. But like I'm ride or die for these highlights. Like I have this one, I have Champagne Pop, I have Prosecco Pop. Do I have another one? I can't remember if I have another one, but I have like definitely like at least 3 full sizes. And I just love them so much. Like I am so sad, and I'm gonna cherish them forever until I run out. And I think that's it for most of my face products. I did want to shout out one face palette. I have always said that I really love face palettes, and B, I'm always on the hunt for like the perfect like travel face palette, and I always get ones to be my travel face palettes, and they're never like quite right. I think I finally found one that I think is like quite right this year. Did I get this year or at the end of last year? I can't remember, but this Jouer, what is it called? The Champagne and Macron Sweet Cheeks palette. There's 2 versions of this. There's this one, and there's one that's like deeper. So like the bronzer is deeper, the highlight is deeper, and the blushes are deeper. And I think I almost like the blushes in that one a little bit better, but I was worried they would be too dark for me. But I knew the bronzer and the highlight were definitely too dark. So I got this one, and I love the blush shades in this one too. Like this is not like I'm not trying to slag on the blush shades. I love them so much. But this is like actually the perfect, I feel like, highlight for me, or the perfect travel face palette for me. Because this is like my ideal, I feel like, bronzer shade. I can use it to bronze, but I can also use it to contour. Like I think it doesn't skew too warm or too cool. These blush shades are like nice enough and neutral enough to go with like any outfit. Like it's like just like a kind of like light corally color. It's what I put on top of my cheeks on top of this So Cosmo. I used Romance Me on top, but this Delight Me is like a shimmery pink that is really nice too. But the shimmer is like really subtle, so it mostly just makes your cheeks glow. It's not like glitter or anything. And then this highlight in Citrine is what I have as my highlighter, and it's just like so beautiful. Like it's finally, like I finally have my perfect like travel palette, and it's not too big, but it's also not too small. Like I won't lose it. It seems like sturdy enough to like not break super easily. I love this face palette, and it's the only one I'm shouting out this year, even though there are a lot of face palettes that I am very ride or die for. Okay, moving on to, what should I move on to next? I guess eyes, right? Should I do eyes next? Cool. So for primer, I have been using Too Faced Shadow Insurance a lot this year alongside my other ones, and I kind of like have again had this for a while, and I kind of forgot it for a bit and then started using it again. And this is really great because it's like tacky enough to keep your shadows in place, but it's not like too tacky in the sense that it will make your shadows like hard to blend. The one thing about this is it's not like super great if you really need your primer to like smooth out your eyelid and like cover veins or something. Like I prefer the MAC Painterly Paint Pot or the Urban Decay like primer potion in Eden for those purposes, but I don't really have like super veiny eyelids, so I don't super need that anyway. I think this just works really well for its express purpose of like keeping your shadow from creasing. Like I think it says it has like crazy wear, like 12 or 24 hours or something. I've never tested that out, but it's so good. Like I'm almost out, and I want to get another one because I do really like this. For actual shadows, I have gotten a few palettes this year and I like them. I just didn't feel comfortable like recommending them because I just feel like I haven't used them enough. But so I'm just going back to like palettes I have used a lot. I always talk about the Colourpop palettes. I think they're really great for the price. I specifically pulled up Blue Moon because I've just been using it a lot for a lot of things this year, and I really quite like it. As far as like monochromatic palettes go, it's like just like so, it's nice, it's well executed. I'm a big fan of like every Colourpop palette, but this is just one I've been using a lot, so I pulled this out. And then more importantly, I like rediscovered how much I love just KVD shadows in general, but specifically the Lolita palettes that I have. I don't think they make either of these anymore, but I have like the original Lolita palette, which is like all matte and super beautiful. Like I knew the minute I saw this palette I had to have it. It's like, look at these colors, look at this packaging. I love the KVD powders. I just think the shadows blend so nicely. I feel like I've had a lot of palettes recently that have been like misses, but like unfortunately when KVD, like Kat was with the company, and even a little bit after she left, because I feel like these were from after she left. I don't know, my timeline could be off, but I feel like the one thing was when Kat was with the company, the shadow quality was so good. And I think they were still fine after that while they kept her formula. And I think as soon as they started to like mess with them and get cheaper ones or whatever, I think the issue with KVD was they started to lose money after Kat, all the stuff with Kat. And so once they stopped using her products and like her formulas, they started to do cost cutting and they started using different formulas that were cheaper probably, and they're just not as good, which makes people not want to go back to the line even though Kat is gone. So I feel like they're in this weird spiral, which makes me like worried, because like I would like hate if they went down the Becca route and stopped existing, because like now that Kat is gone I want to keep buying their products. I really do. The stuff I love, I really do love. So anyway, I'm on a tangent. I just love this palette. I think it's so great. I have, what do I have in my eyes today? I have like a mix of I think like Lolita and Con Amour and Corazon on my eyes. And then from this palette, this is the Lolita Porvida palette, which is like the sister palette to this one that came out like later. They're not like identical, which is great. They're like very nice complements to each other. So from that one, again, look at this palette. I think the first one is more like true to the Lolita like shade concept. This one's more like, I get why it's complementary, because you have like the Lolita shades, but then like most of the other shades are like more neutral. There's only a couple like purples or mauves, but I have Rosario on my lid, and then I have Luna on my lid, and then I have a little bit of Lolita, and I think Rosario also on my lower lash line. I have a bit of a Carino also on my lower lash line in the upper inner corners. And then I think I have Preciosa in like my inner corner and under my brow. But yeah, I fucking love this palette. Again, so good. This glitter shade in the middle is like, it has fallen out like a bitch if you don't use glitter glue, but it's so pretty that it's like totally worth the struggle of putting it on. It's just so nice. I love these palettes. I truly like, and like, oh my god, they're so pretty. Yeah, I love them. I'm sorry they're not even available. I don't know why, like I shouldn't be recommending stuff that people can't buy. Maybe you can get them from like somebody who's selling them. I don't know. I don't know what the resale market is like for KVD products these days. I know like when what was that big palette called? The rainbow one? When that one came out, it was like the reselling value on that shit was crazy. But I don't know if the new stuff's like that or if it's easy to find. But yeah, I love it. I'm sorry to recommend something that you can't buy. But you can buy the Colourpop stuff, and you can buy a lot of the palettes I mentioned last year. Not the Jackie Aina one. I think that one's, I don't actually know if the Jackie Aina is still selling. I don't think it is. But yeah, I'm sorry that so many of my favorite palettes are like limited edition palettes. I also don't like it. I hate scarcity marketing. It's like my worst, it's my least favorite kind of like advertising, is if you advertise something to me and tell me it's only available for a limited time, it just makes me mad, and I almost never will actually like buy it for that reason. But yeah, I almost never buy it solely because it's like rare or it's not gonna be available in like a month. I hate it. But unfortunately, so many good palettes come of that. Like the ABH Sultry palette, which I almost talked about in this video, was also like a scarcity marketing, like holiday edition type of thing, which I guess it's a little bit different if it's a holiday release and you kind of know going into it that it's gonna be scarce, but like just like random collections that come out with the intention of being like limited just make me mad. Anyway, moving on. So eyeliner. For pencil eyeliner, I have the MAC Technical liner in Graphy Black. I have two of these. I have like the regular one that I got, I think for like my birthday or something, and I also put like the fucking Aladdin collab they did, but it's like the exact same thing as this one, but it's just in like, it has like peacock feathers on it. That's the Aladdin packaging, but I just like love it. I have it on my like waterline today. I just find it so smooth. Like a lot of like waterline liners and just like pencil liners are so hard to put on. Like they hurt your eyes, you have to drag them, they like dry out. These are so good. They've just been like tried and true, and like they've lasted for like years, and I just like, well, not years, this one obviously not years. The movie has not, when did this movie come out actually? Maybe it has been years, but yeah, they just work so well. So love these guys. And then for liquid, I have the KVD Trooper Tattoo Liner. I have talked about this one a shit ton last year. I just like could not, I felt like bad not talking about it this year, so I'm not gonna go on about it. Just know that I love her and I talked about her more in last year's video. These Colourpop liquid liners, I actually, if you want black, I wouldn't say get this. I haven't tried the black one, and I just don't think, like, there are so many options for like a good black liquid liner that I don't think you necessarily need the Colourpop ones. But I feel like it's really hard to get colored liquid liners at like an affordable price that are actually good, and I find these Colourpop ones are like pretty solid for like the price point. The amount of like, I don't know, pigmentation they have is like really, really nice. Like, hold on, see? Like this is like the dark blue, and it's just like nice. Like I really like these. I think like I use the pink one a ton. I've used the white one a ton. I haven't used the blue one as much, but I kind of should, because like, I don't know, they're just really nice. Big fan of them. If you want colored liners specifically, I highly recommend them. I'm sure the black one is great too, because like the colored ones are great. If the black one is anything like the colored ones, that's great too. I just think like you don't necessarily need to like order a colored black liner from like a website, because you can just like walk into your drugstore and find like lots of great options. So I don't necessarily think you need that, but I think for stuff that's like harder to find, like colored liquid liners that are not like a gazillion dollars, I really love the Colourpop ones. And then obviously I got this one pretty recently too, but I love this Fenty Beauty Liner. Not only does it just like go on like so like opaque and dark and nice, I just like kind of like that it's like in this triangle pen shape. I just find it like kind of like ergonomic and nice to hold. So I don't know. The one thing with this is I kind of struggle with it a little bit, like when you're doing really big wings. You have to wait for it to dry, otherwise it transfers over to your lid and it's just like a mess. So I kind of prefer this for like smaller like liner days, like today I have it on my eyes, just because like I knew it was the kind of thing where even if I blinked, it wouldn't like transfer, because it wouldn't be like right on my crease, whereas like sometimes when I do like really big wings, it like is on the crease line, and so if I don't wait long enough for it to dry and I blink, it like fucks up my whole day. But that's kind of my own like fault for being impatient. Like, and I'm sure once this dries out a little bit, it will not have an issue anymore. But yeah, I really like this too. And then I think like mascara, right? Yeah, okay, so mascaras, I think I talked about the Roller Lash yesterday, but I can't remember. But the Benefit Roller Lash is so good. It does what it says it does. It curls your lashes. I sure talked about it last year if it's in my last year video. I think it was in last year I talked about last year. But it just curls your lashes really nicely. It doesn't clump them. It's natural. The big guy I want to talk about this year is the freaking Maybelline Sky High Lash Sensational Mascara. Which, you know, this shit is on my eye right now. I don't know if you can tell. It's so good. One, I just love, like, okay, look at this brush. Like, it doesn't look like anything, right? Like this brush looks like nothing. Like it does not look like anything, but It's so good at not only like curling your lashes, applying like the pigment on them, separating them. Like it's very hard to make this clump, but it also makes your lashes look like so huge and full and natural, and at the same time like it's beautiful. It's like it's so good, and it's at the drugstore. And my whole thing was, this thing got big on TikTok, and so it was like sold out everywhere, and so I could only find it in the shade brownish black for the longest time. So I got this one and I've just been using it on like natural days because I'm like, whatever, I can use brown mascara on like natural days, whatever, cool. And then I was at a party and my old manager from like my old job, she had heard me talking about how much I wanted this one in black and I could just not find it anywhere. And the Shopping Drug Mart near her house had it in black. And she came to the party and she brought me it in black, and I have them both and I'm so happy, but it was just like the nicest thing ever. And like, yeah, it's just like, this shit is so good. Like, best mascara of the year, best mascara I've like found in a while. It's a drugstore mascara, which is great. Like mascara, like I've said this before, mascara is the one thing I just do not think you need to pay. Like I have like Sephora mascaras and I feel ashamed because it's one of those things I really genuinely do not think you need to pay a shit ton of money for, because there was like amazing better, if like just as good if not better mascara at the drugstore. Like you really don't need to do it, and if you do it, it's just like, why? I've done it before, so like I'm not judging, but like me at myself, why? Cool. Let's talk about a big thing that I didn't talk about last year, because I was not doing this last year, but I've very recently, the past like 2 months, gotten into lashes. And like, I like the Ardell Wispies, they're fine, but in terms of like, if you want cheap lashes, the fucking Colourpop lashes are so good, man. Like these Minx ones are like really nice. I'm a huge fan actually of the what is this called? Oh dear. These like Bambi themed ones that they had. I found like for like, again, drugstore prices, these Colourpop ones are really nice. The band is not too thin, it's not too thick. They just look good. They have really dramatic styles, which I like. My favorite ones obviously are these Lily Lashes ones, but these are like expensive. I don't know if they still sell like this kind. Sorry, this is like NSFW. It has like, it's called MILF. And I got these, like I think these are like, were originally sold for like $20 or $30, but I'm gonna be real, I bought these from a beauty sale from somebody who sells their PR for like $5. And they're totally worth the $5. I don't know if I would pay $30 for lashes. Once these like stop being usable, I'll have to reevaluate if I want to purchase them. But these are so nice and fluffy and beautiful. The one thing is, these look so good, but when I wear glasses like every day, like I need to learn how to wear contacts and like get contacts, because it's so hard to wear like huge big ass like lashes that look good with your eye makeup and then also be wearing glasses, because then either the glasses fuck up your lashes or you have to put your glasses like on the really bottom of your nose like a grandma. It's the whole thing. But I love these so much. I also have these Yas Queen ones, which I also love, but for some reason, oh, I thought I'd lost one, but it was just up here, which is great. It's swell. I'm gonna put this back in here. But yeah, once again, these are so fluffy and beautiful. These look like Lily Lashes, man. TLDR, my recommendations are Lily Lashes. If you are up to pay like more expensive, they're really good. And if you can't afford like Sephora brand lash prices, which I think is totally legitimate, I think it's kind of insane to pay like $30 for eyelashes. These Colourpop ones are so good. And I know I don't have them in this video, but like the Ardell ones are like pretty solid too. I don't have like a particularly strong lash glue preference. I'm using currently this Sephora clear one. The one thing I will say is definitely get one with like a brush and not like a squeezy tube. The squeezy tubes fucked up me learning how to put on lashes so badly. Like I got so frustrated and just didn't touch them for a while. And then I got this and I've been using this and it works pretty well. Like it's blue and then it turns clear when it's like gone tacky enough to use. I just find it like, yeah, it doesn't take forever to dry and it keeps my lashes on. I haven't had any issues with my lashes like popping off in the corners or anything. It's like a solid option. I think it's like $11 or $12 at Sephora in Canada, so it's probably even cheaper in the US. But yeah, I really like this. I can't pretend I've used a bunch of lash glues or I have like a really strong preference, but I have like no complaints about this one. And then, okay, what else do I have to talk about? I talked about these last year, so I'm not gonna talk about them a lot. I just don't have any other brow product. I've been using the Colourpop Brow Boss gels like religiously. I have clear and soft black. I use soft black sometimes when I want to like fill in like a little bit near the front. Otherwise, if I just want to hold things in place and I don't care about like adding any color whatsoever, I use the clear one. They're both great. I have, again, no complaints about either one. Solid. I don't do a whole lot to my brows because as you can see I have a lot of brow and the most I can really do is just get them done, which I haven't done in a while if it's not like obvious from like how they're looking. But yeah, I love them. I have no complaints. I can't recommend like any sort of like pomades or pencils because I just don't really use them all that much. Moving on, I think all we have left is lips. I hope I'm not talking too fast. I just don't want this video to be like 100 hours long because I have so many products to talk about. Lips again are another repeat from last year just because I haven't tried anything new that has made me want to talk about it. So I'm just gonna like continuously recommend the MAC lip pencils. These are, yeah, just the regular lip pencils. I bought a whole bunch of new ones this year. I got Cork really recently and I've had Whirl and Burgundy for a while. These are just the 3 I have to grab, but I have like 7 or 8 of these. I just love them so much. Like they are kind of expensive. Like they're pencils. So like they're not like, obviously they're not like $7 or like I think like 20 or something, but to me they're worth it. Like I just think they're so easy to put on. I have Cork right now on my lip and then I'll show you the lipstick I put on top that I like blended into Cork, but I'm using Cork right now. It's so good. They just like have such like, they go on so easily. Like they're smooth, they glide on, but they also have like the most amazing lasting power and they're not like uncomfortable. They're just like so good. Like I fucking ride or die for this shit. For bullet lipsticks, again, nothing super new. I think I talked about the Colourpop Luxe lipsticks last year. This has just happened to be one of the Sophia Nygaard ones. This is like Brucey, which is like this blue, green, gray color. But yeah, the Luxe lipsticks at Colourpop are a really good affordable option. I also am a huge fan of the MAC lipsticks that I talked about last year. Last year I talked about mostly the matte ones, which I do still love, but I also have been trying out their powder kiss formula, which is like a little more like, I don't know, it's almost like blurred and less like, it's less pigment, but more like it fades more naturally. And I don't know how to explain it, but like powdery is kind of like a nice way to put it, but they're not drying. I don't know how to explain them. This formula is really fun. I have this one on in Stay Curious on top of that Cork lip liner, and that's my combo right now. Stay Curious is like a pinky color, but it just mixed into like the brown to make like a pretty, I don't know, I like the color of this lip. And then I also just like really like the KVD like bullet lipsticks as well. I don't know if they're still making these. I feel like they almost like sold them off and have like a whole new line of like solid lipsticks that I haven't tried, but I hope they still make these because I really do like them. And also like, I really fucking love how these smell. They have like a really subtle like cakey smell to them that I find very enjoyable. And then for liquid lipsticks, all the ones I talked about last year I still love, but I also wanted to highlight the Colourpop Luxe liquid lips because I feel like last year I was really hung up on how they discontinued the satins, and I'm still really pissed about that. Those are still my favorite Colourpop like lipstick formula. But the Luxe lips have also grown on me. They kind of do the same thing that the MAC Powder Kiss formula does, in the sense that they come on, they like apply almost like powdery like. I can't explain how they apply, but they're almost like, it's almost like a wash of color that's almost like semi-faded already. And then as they fade, they just fade very beautifully and leave like almost like a kind of like semi-stain. Like they're just really nice. They also like have good lasting power, I find, and they're not like drying or anything. I think I'm sure I talked about the KVD liquid lipsticks last year. I'm still ride or die for them. I don't know if they still make these, which makes me sad. I feel like just a bunch of KVD stuff was like super discontinued or like super on sale for a while. And I feel like that was because they were discontinuing it. I actually don't know, but like I'm still so ride or die for the KVD liquid lipsticks. This one's in Lolita, which is like my most worn shade, obviously. I don't know if you guys can tell from this, but every Lolita themed thing that KVD's ever put out, it's been like my shit. Like I just love that color so much. And like the whole color family has been so good to me. So love this. The other thing that I want to talk about is, this is like an oldie. Like I feel like this is one of the first liquid lipsticks I ever got. Like I probably got this in like, I feel like 2017 maybe, 2016, I can't remember. But these are from the Balm. They're the Meet Matte Hues long-lasting liquid lipsticks, and they have like a kind of like, they plump a bit. Like they have like they burn your lips a little bit when you put them on. Like they've got like a minty sort of taste to them, which I don't love the taste, I don't love the burn, but they just look so good. And they're another like liquid lipstick that just looks super matte but not uncomfortable. Like it doesn't like sink into your lip lines, and it like doesn't feel like flaky on your lips. It's like so good. And I have like a bunch of colors of these. Like I like literally, this was like my first, I feel like, online makeup purchase, was getting a bunch of these from the Balm, because you used to not be able to get the Balm at all like anywhere in Canada. Now you can just go to like Shoppers Drug Mart and get the Balm there, but you used to like not be able to find it anywhere. But yeah, I fucking love these guys, and I've been again using them again this year, even though like I feel like I forgot about them for a while. And then I pulled them out one day and I tried them on again, and I was like, wow, this shit slaps. So yeah, highly recommend these. And then for gloss, I don't even remember if I talked about glosses last year because I'm so not a gloss person, but on the rare occasion that I do wear gloss, I almost always reach for my one Buxom gloss, which is this Dolly shade. These Buxom glosses also like burn your lips and are plumping, but I find these ones a lot more tolerable than the way the Balm lipstick does. I think just because I feel like, I don't know, glosses I'm kind of okay with burning because they're kind of inherent to the medium. I just find it weird when a matte liquid lipstick burns my lips and plumps them. But yeah, one, these smell amazing. Oh god, they smell like when you were a kid and you got like lip gloss, they smell like that, but they're so good. And they also just make your lips look so juicy and beautiful and good, and they're not like overly sticky. They just make you so glossy. And I just specifically really like this Dolly shade, like, because for me it's like a really good like neutral gloss that I can put on top of like anything. It's like not too light, not too dark. It has some color, but it's not like too like pigmented, but it's also not clear. I just love it. I recommend these Buxom glosses so much. And I think the last thing I want to talk about was this original little freckle dude. It's just like, you pull it out, it's got a little brush. And the reason I want to talk about this specifically was I don't wear like fake freckles too often, and I haven't even had this for a while, but this is like the original, I feel like, freckle product. And it's still, I think, of the ones I've tried, the best one of the ones I've tried. I've only really tried this one and the Colourpop pencil, or the pen. And I had the Colourpop pen first, and I used that one for a while, and my issue with that was like, it was really good at first, but it, like, because it was a pen, like the more you like dotted it on your skin, the more like the pen part like wore down, and it soon became like a really thick like nub, like it wasn't pointy anymore. And so all my freckles ended up like, now whenever I try to use it, all my freckles are like huge because I can never get like fine points. Whereas with this, I find it really easy to get like a huge variety of like freckle sizes, because like you can like dip really quickly, like and you get really tiny ones, and if you press a little harder, they become bigger. I just think it looks more natural. Obviously it's like way more expensive, and I'm not saying the Colourpop freckle pen isn't good, because it is. Like, I still love that thing, and I think for the price point, it's amazing. It's just like, I feel like if you can afford to pay extra to get this, it's worth the jump, because I just think it works so well for what it is. And I have that also on my face right now. And then I think that's all the makeup I had. The only last thing I want to shout out, and I didn't even do this in my video last year because I just didn't have one to talk about, was I really wanted to shout out the Sigma x Sephora Sigmagic Brush Shampoo, which I think is just like a Sephora branded version of the regular Sigma brush shampoo. I used this shit when I was cleaning my brushes the other day, and it was like, I was using this and like the Real Techniques brush shampoo, and they both did the job, but like it was a like the brushes, I used the Real Techniques one until I ran out, and then I switched to this one, and the Real Techniques one like did the job, but I just felt like it was so much faster and easier once I switched to this. Like this is so, it packs a punch. You don't have the, like I thought for sure this was not going to do anything because I was like, it was just like, oh, spray a little bit on your brush, but it like worked just as well as like a full glob of like the Real Techniques brush shampoo. Like it was like so powerful. I highly recommend it. I have a bunch of other brush shampoos that I'm trying to like work through, hopefully when I wash my brushes again. But I feel like once I've worked through my backlog of like brush shampoos that I bought in the hopes that it would inspire me to clean my brushes, once I work my way through those, I will want to repurchase this, unless one of those like wows me even more, but I can't see it happening because I just love these so much. So yeah, if you need a brush shampoo or a brush cleaner or anything like that, I highly recommend the Sigmagic Sigma one. Oh, and I actually did have one more makeup thing, but I'm not gonna talk about it too much because I talked about these last year. I just don't have ones that I prefer more this year. So for setting sprays, I have the MAC Fix Plus, the regular Fix Plus, as my like fixing spray or my setting spray that I use like once I'm done my base, just to like de-powder my skin and like make it everything kind of melt in. I really like Fix Plus for that. And then just because it's, again, it's like a really good natural sort of, it just like makes all of your powders blend into your skin and look really nice. And then when I've done all of my makeup and I want to just set it and have it last forever, I have been using the Urban Decay All Nighter like for 4 years straight, if not more. Yeah, like I want to say like more than that, like 5 or 6 years straight. And I love it. I have other setting sprays I've tried and they're great, but like nothing has made me want to stop repurchasing either of these products. I think they're so good. My makeup does not budge with this. I've taken like naps with this on and like it hasn't rubbed off my pillow. I've had like yeah, I've like slept in makeup that I've put this on and it's like still been there the next day. I just find it like very strong and good at what it does. That's it. I'm sorry if I talked really fast. I hope this is legible. If you have any questions about any of these products, leave them down below. If you had some of your favorite products of 2021, I would love to hear them. So share what you've been really loving this year in the comments. Next week, I will be coming back hopefully with a worst of 2021 video. So if you wanted to see that, please subscribe, hit the button, and you will be notified when I post that video, and I would really appreciate it because I do post videos every Wednesday. And if you like this video, if you could hit the thumbs up button, I'd really appreciate that. And if you want to follow me on other social media platforms, you can follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, and on TikTok. And yeah, it's been fun. And all that being said, I will see you guys all next week. Bye!